This isn't much of a trade package idea that I read off from a bad website, but this is Lakers. We're hearing that you guys are interested in making moves for Gary Trent Jr. Carl, thoughts on making Gary Trent Jr. a Laker?
It's not going to do anything for the team. Like he's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to do anything. Like he's a player that's similar to Malik Monk. Like it doesn't make sense to me. I can't see him a dude that score like he's obviously he's a good shooter, but I just can't see him improving on the things that we're bad at. We're bad at defense. One player just can't change that.
Yeah.
We be getting out rebounded to be as big as we are. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
We can't shoot on a consistent basis, and we got good shooters. So that doesn't make sense. I can name a lot of things. We can't shoot free throws. That's another thing. We suck at that. Go ahead. It's a lot of things.
That's the weird. Real quick, there's I think there's like a 2-minute highlight reel of Russ missing shots that I need. Remind me to show it to you after.
No, you remind me. I already seen it. I'm gonna talk about that.
Oh, you saw it? Okay, all right.
You just reminded me that Russ just has open layups and just throws it behind the backboard. I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know what Russ on this season.
No, but it's just not like sometimes the ball slips out of your hand. It happens. You play basketball, but it keeps happening.
Yeah, it look like the ball slipping out of his hand.
He has an open layup, and he has the person like on his right hip or whatever, and they're not going to block the shot. He had the ball in his left hand or right hand, and he just throw it at the backboard. Like I'm like, what are you doing?
Those bank shots, it look like he aiming for the
bank shots, looking like he aiming for the damn top of the damn axle. The axle that's hanging on to the front hoop.
Yeah. He does. I don't know what Russell Westbrook on right now, but I'm glad you mentioned all those stats, Carl, because they point at this really weird dynamic with the Lakers. They have so much that on paper, you cannot tell me this is a team that's not well balanced.
That's what I'm saying. So getting another shooter is not really going to help because that's what we thought we were getting when we signed these dudes, and it just hasn't worked out. So us getting Gary Trent Jr. is really not going to do anything for me.
Yeah, because I'm like, you go 2019, right? You look at this Lakers team in 2019. On paper, they won a championship, but on paper, we were like, okay, well, they don't have great 3-point shooters outside of LeBron and AD. They don't have great scorers outside of LeBron and AD. They got good role players, but there's really not that third guy. On paper, can look at the contrast here. Look at them on paper this season, right? Great defenders all around. Trevor Ariza, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. LeBron can play defense when he wants to. All of those guys still suck on the defensive end. I think they're bottom half of the league defensively. Not shooting it very well from three, but you look at it, or you're not shooting the way they should be from three with who they have on their roster. Malik Monk, LeBron's shooting it at a high level this year. You got Trevor Ariza. All of these guys, this isn't a really consistent 3-point shooting team. Offensively, they're just not great, considering they have freaking Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis and LeBron. We could say Anthony Davis is hurt, but even when they had AD, they still weren't great offense.
It was still this bad.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's the weird dynamic with the Lakers, dude. And they have the pieces that they need, and they just haven't been able to make it work. So once again, you get back to this idea that maybe they need to go make a coaching change, because a lot of this is pointing at systematic screw ups. That's what I'm looking at it. That's what I'm looking at. But I don't know. I think I'll disagree with the Gary Trent thing with you, because most likely, if they're going to go try to get a guy like Gary Trent, we're talking about shedding THT and Kendrick Nunn. And THT,
I would get rid of THT. He has talent, but I'm probably
you don't want THT anymore.
Nah, bro, because like over the last basically this whole season, he's made some questionable decisions on the court as far as just like turnovers. It looks bad. It's almost as bad as Russ turnovers. I don't know if you all been paying attention to him.
Yeah,
he makes terrible decisions on the court.
Yeah, no, and then even with
this is his second, third year in the league.
Yeah, third, because he's in the bubble with him. But then even so, when we talked about this after they offered him that money, we talked about why they offered him that. They gave him that contract extension because you can get more from him in his contract when you go move him. But we were talking about what's that fit. We talked about maybe that second episode of the podcast. We kept on asking, what's the fit with THT? How's he going to fit now that Russ and all those guys are on the floor? When they ask him to be in those lineups with Russ and LeBron, and they ask him to kind of be this stretch shooter, that just doesn't work because that's not his game at all.
Yeah, he's not a stretch shooter.
He's not that. So you get rid of him. I think you free up a lot of your offense because when you have guys that don't fit on the court, that could be a reason why your offense is struggling. So if you get rid of a guy who's a reason why your offense isn't fitting together well, You give up him and get a guy like Gary Trent Jr. who can create his own shots, but can also, when he needs to be, can definitely be an off the catch shooter, is an amazing defender. We're talking about a guy who's top 5 in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation by a lot of people's standards, and is probably the top guard and perimeter player in that conversation. Maybe you guys can check me on that. But you're talking about 2 areas where you guys struggle in defensively and 3-point shooting wise. You're talking about getting a guy who can fix both of those issues. You know what I'm saying? And then while giving up a guy who I think, makes your offense look questionable at times. And that's no insult to THT at all. THT is a very talented player, and we saw it throughout the preseason and throughout the season early on and throughout last season. But here, you said it before, Carl, this may just not be a spot, especially with all these superstars that are in and out of the lineup,
I wouldn't mind trading THC. I would do that. But the Kendrick Nunn one, I'd be skeptical about because I haven't even seen him play on this team. I at least want to see how he fits with the team before I trade Kendrick Nunn.
Facts.
Wouldn't that be more reasonable?
He hasn't played this season.
But wouldn't that be more reasonable?
It depends. It depends how you look at it though, because like you can say, okay, I haven't seen him play. He's kind of hurt. Okay, we might as well, since he played this year, we might as well trade him before he comes back because we might not be able to. But I personally wouldn't do it because I just want to see how he fits with the team first. At least.
Is the risk of plugging Gary Trent in the lineup greater than the risk of plugging of trying to see if Kendrick Nunn works in that lineup with the Lakers?
I'd rather see. Oh my bad.
I'm saying I think the risk of plugging Kendrick Nunn in there is greater than the risk of plugging Gary Trent in there, because it's much easier to plug Gary Trent in the lineup and say, hey, stretch the floor for us and knock down jump shots than it is for Kendrick Nunn. Nunn can knock down threes, but Nunn is better as a shot creator. I think the Lakers have too many guys who want to shot create. That's one of their issues,
It's just my thing is, even though you're going to get another shooter that can play defense, it seems like they have a lot of those players and it hasn't worked. So that's why I don't know about it.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's like, I don't know. I just don't know if it's as simple as we just need a better player than Russ and we just need AD to play well. I think it just might be that simple. When AD comes back, I think we need him to play better. And I think we need Russ to
figure this shit out.
I don't know. Figure it out. I think it's really that simple. I don't think it's as complicated as it might seem.
So you're all right. So, and we talked about this before too. So you're like, I don't even know the Lakers need to make a trade. Like, are you there right now? Like, are you at?
I mean, I know we can't trade Russ because it's impossible. It's not going to happen. So we're just going to have to deal. We're going to have to deal. That's why I wouldn't even take this contract in the first place, because you're paying $40 million for a player that's clearly on decline. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, why? Like, it just didn't make sense to. They need to, I don't know, whoever's in charge, Jeannie Buss, she need to rethink that, because that don't make sense.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I agree with you. I think maybe, like I said, before I heard this idea, I was like, Lakers, I was saying it. I was like, Lakers don't need to make a move. They have too much talent and too many pieces, as you mentioned, too many pieces here that could work well together. So maybe a lot of it can be internal. Like I said, it could be one of two things. It could be change coach, change systematically, or go out there and get a guy. But I do think bringing in Gary Trent Jr. does alleviate a lot of their issues. Because like I said, automatically defensively, if your defense is an issue, when you're letting De'Aaron Fox, cook you, and then Tyrese Halliburton cook you, when you get a guy like you get a guy like Gary Trent Jr., like I said, you're talking about a dude who's top 5 arguably in that Defensive Player of the Year conversation. So you get monumentally better on the defensive end and better on the 3-point shooting end. So I like it. But like I said, I definitely see why, if you're a Lakers fan, you're like, I don't even think we need to make a move. We can definitely still try to run this thing out and make something happen.
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, is he going to stop us from turning the ball over at a high rate? Because we're turning the ball over at a team like a crazy rate. I don't see him stopping that. I don't see him stopping Russ from throwing a ball at the top of the backboard. So, I think, so you're saying he's a good piece, but how much does he really, really fix? I agree. Like I said, I think the most he does is fixes the defensive issues big time, but then, like I said, the Russ turn, if there are issues within your big three, that's almost unfixable by trade, like if Russ is doing what he's doing, no guy you can bring in is going to stop Russ from doing the shit he's doing. That's what I'm saying. So it's really just difficult for us. I just think everybody needs to play better outside of LeBron. Malik Monk's been playing pretty good. So I just really think whenever if Russ finds his way with the team, he'll play better, but it just keeps getting worse. Like, I look up every night, he has 8 turnovers and he has like 11 bricks in one game. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm dead serious when I see 11 bricks.
And it's like you said, they have
now. Can you quick?
Go ahead.
Oh no. One question is, I was thinking about it. Could y'all see them actually trading or doing something with Russ before the deadline.
I can't see it.
At least before the playoffs.
Contract too much.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with Carl. When Carl said, he said that y'all have no choice. But when we say they got to bet on Russ playing better, y'all damn near got no choice. Because what do y'all like no contenders taking Russ right? That's not happening. Philly was the last contender that maybe could have took Russ, and that's that. And they said the other day, pretty much, we don't want him. You know, it was rumored that they said that. Most likely, they didn't want the dude. Like maybe I'm trying to think of some other teams, the Clippers, but then what spot does it put the Clippers in? Like, I don't know any team that would want to go and take Russell Westbrook right now. So you
always, I mean, is it too much to buy him out?
Hell yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's 40.
That's a lot of money.
Make 44 next year.
Yeah.
So it's just the thing, like, it's just shooting. Like he will. I don't know what it is, bro. His shooting was never this. This is his worst I've seen his shooting ever.
Yeah. Yeah,
watching him over the last.
He was never, the best shooter.
He wasn't, but he was better than
he had something.
He had a nice. He was never a great 3-point shooter, but he had a nice mid range. His mid range this year is terrible.
You can't lie. Russ shooting is like I've never seen this dude shoot this fucking bad before, ever.
Yeah,
I just never seen it.
It's so bad when he shoot, you need like an expletive button or something because you want to curse after he shoots.
You do the sound and make the beep sound when he shoots.
Beep. That's what you need because it's
you said the what?
And one of
the expletive button they be using on TV shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I see that. I like I said, I think I don't know. I think if you're the Lakers, you fix what you can. So I do think we're getting rid of THT and shedding him out there and getting rid of Kendrick Nunn. And getting a guy like Gary Trent Jr., who is one of the hotter trade prospects right now, I think that solves some issues and that puts him in a slightly better position. But I agree. The middle ground we find is this. I agree. They do a lot of it. You're not going to be able to. It doesn't matter who you bring in. If one of your best players and your guy making $40 million, as you mentioned, is still doing dumb shit, then it's not going to. I don't know. You still have to fix. You still have to figure that part out. No trade can fix that. So.
You know what? This is a serious thing. I think they need to. Maybe they need to rest Russ a couple games to get his mind right because it don't seem
to sit him down for about
it doesn't
40
seem to be,
40 more. They sit him down for about 40 games.
Bench Russ.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't seem not even bench. It's like just rest them, tell them don't just relax a little bit, rest them for a few games, see if that I don't know. See if honestly, I'm saying see if we play better and see if it helps him out.
Yeah,
if he doesn't, what happens?
Show him. We can do well without you.
So if we start winning some games against quality teams when he out, I'm gonna be looking at Russ like, you might want to stay over there for a little bit longer.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to see something.
Yeah.
If we win, okay, we don't need you. Now we should still pay you under the table because that's how bad you've been playing. We'll still pay you, but we don't want you to play.
Yeah. But, no, yeah, I think anything's on the table with Russ right now because I mean because a lot of it, like I said, it's not even system. Like I remember our big question was how is he going to fit with LeBron, and then I don't think the fit between them two isn't. I don't think when I look on the court, I don't say man Russ and LeBron can't play together. I never say that. I just say what the fuck is Russ doing. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's not about how well they fit together. Because if they didn't fit together, LeBron wouldn't be putting up 30 a game doing what he's doing.
Yeah. It's just the thing is he's playing this bad and he's hearing the noise. So I know it's messing him up mentally. Yep. That's why I'm saying he might need to rest. He might need to rest a couple games. Because like what the Kings did with the ice cold stuff on the Jumbotron. I don't know.
That was hilarious.
People been doing it. Like he's been hearing all this stuff talking about he's been playing real bad. So that's why I'm saying him resting a couple games. Maybe need to clear his mind, shoot 1,000 more jump shots in the gym. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Rest his mind a little bit, but just, I don't know, just calm down a little bit. Maybe come back next week, and get his mind right.
No, come back after the All-Star break.
If you want to, just
come back in March.
If you want to, don't come back, but you can come back. Yeah. Come back. Yeah.
How about you go home?
Yeah. No, I'm serious though. I think they actually do need to rest him a couple games to get his mind right.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Yeah, I you know what though?
That's gonna make it worse.
You think so? I don't know because a lot of it definitely I agree. A lot of it is mental. Like a lot, you can definitely see it's getting to him. He says he doesn't care, but he does care. He does.
Any professional athlete that's struggling but hears social media talk about him all the time, even though you might not hear it, you're going to see it because we live in a world that's driven by social media. So you're going to see it. And you're going to
without a doubt, so it's definitely getting to him. So I think it is mental because like I said, I can't explain any other issue. I can't even ask Frank Vogel. One thing I can't ask Frank Vogel is to do more to put him in position to be successful because you can't lie. I like a lot of the looks Russell Westbrook gets. I don't look at the shots he gets and be like, oh, these aren't great Russell Westbrook shots.
Why you think he get them though?
Because you mean them threes? You want threes to be wide open?
Wide open.
True.
Dude, he had a possession against the Kings where y'all go down by like 2 or 3, and he just shoots a 3 and bricks it.
Yeah.
And they go down and score.
The announcer
he didn't even get back on defense, did he? I remember that play. Yeah, I remember exactly that play. Yeah. That sums him up because you could that very play. I know what you're talking about. That very play. I was like, damn. I remember saying, damn, after I saw it. He bricked the 3 and then doesn't get back on defense and they give a fast break layup. So like I said, it's definitely a confidence. You can definitely see it. It's a confidence thing. Because like I said, I can't even ask. He still gets to that mid-range area. He's still able to get out and run and transition. So we see him get Russell Westbrook shots. He's just not going in.
I've always said this thing about Russ. I respect that he gives 100% all the time. But to me, I've always thought he kind of goes a little wild sometimes. He kind of goes too fast. Yeah. And now that he doesn't have a jumper, that's getting him in trouble going 100% all the time. You just can't. Because honestly, bro, you going that damn fast at the hoop, you go get whiplash and miss the hoop when you try to shoot it. By the time you recognize it, you go be under the hoop.
Yeah,
that's what happened. He go to the basket so fast, he'd be under the hoop and he try to just throw something up. That's what happened.
Man. I saw on Twitter where it said, he's based most of his game on that speed and strength. Now he's lost a step. He hasn't really changed it to anything else.
Yeah.
You have to adjust your game. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say I might have to apologize to Kevin Durant. He had to deal with this for a while. I don't know. I'm gonna have to apologize. But it wasn't this bad. It wasn't this bad though. So it's a little different.
Because I gotta stick up for my guy. Y'all know Russ. Yeah, Russ is without a doubt. I think I don't care what nobody says. He's a top 10 point guard to ever play his game. If people are gonna say Big O is top 5 or whatever, you got to say Russ. People that say Big O is top 5 never seen him play, but saw Russell Westbrook average 30 in a triple-double, carry his team in the playoffs, and act like they had. Yeah, whatever you want to, whatever.
What did he say?
Stat pattern, whatever you want to say. People that say Big O is this, never seen the dude play one game and saw Russ average triple-double for 5 straight years, and act like they ain't see nothing.
Yeah, if you go say Russ is stat padding, I mean Big O's is definitely stat padding too.
I don't think
Big O was. I don't think Big O was. I don't even think he knew he was getting triple doubles back then.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. Okay, yeah, they didn't have it, but it's
Big O.
In certain instances, I guess you can call it stat pattern, but a lot of players do that.
Yeah, and it is what it is. But I don't want to get into the y'all know how I feel about Russ. Russ is without a doubt one of my favorite players to ever play his game. You look at the heart. There are a few guys in NBA history like Russell Westbrook. He's having a really rough stretch. So this doesn't define Russell Westbrook as a player at all. At all. So I don't want to get into. I don't want to make this the hate